The call came late in the evening, the kind that interrupts an ordinary moment and changes its tone before you even say hello. My brother didn't greet me. He started talking immediately, his voice already raised. He asked how I could miss his wedding, not just miss it, ignore it. At first I thought he was joking. My brother has never been subtle when he's upset, but this felt different. There was something rehearsed in the way he spoke, like he had already explained the story to other people before calling me. "You couldn't even show up," he said. "Not even a message." I sat there holding the phone, trying to understand what he was talking about. His wedding. I knew he was engaged. I knew the wedding was coming sometime that year, but I had never received a date. No card. No call asking if I was coming. Nothing that suggested the event had already happened. I told him that. There was a pause on the line, but it was the kind people make when they think you're lying. "Everyone got an invitation," he said. I tried to remember the last few months carefully. I went through them the way you check a calendar in your head, work days, weekends, messages I might have missed. "I didn't get one," I said. Another pause, longer this time. He asked when I last checked my mail, when I last spoke to our parents, if maybe I ignored a message. His questions sounded less like accusations now and more like someone trying to hold on to a version of events that was starting to slip. I told him the truth as plainly as I could. "If I knew the date," I said, "I would have been there." That sentence seemed to land somewhere uncomfortable between us. For a moment neither of us spoke. Then I said something I hadn't planned to say. Over the past year, there had been small things. Family dinners I heard about afterward. Group plans that apparently existed somewhere I wasn't included. Conversations that started with, "Oh, we thought you knew." None of it had been serious enough to confront, just strange enough to notice. At the time I told myself it was normal. Families are messy, people forget things. But when you stack those moments together, they stop looking like accidents. My brother listened quietly. I could hear him moving around on the other end of the call, maybe sitting down somewhere. Finally, he said something that changed the direction of the conversation. "Hold on." I heard the rustle of a phone being moved, the faint tapping of a screen. He was checking something, probably the message thread where the invitations were organized. A minute passed, then two. When he came back, his voice had lost the anger that started the call. "Your name's not here." He sounded confused, not defensive. The invitations had been managed by someone close to him, someone who had taken responsibility for the guest list, the messages, the coordination. Someone the family trusted to keep things organized. Someone who also had a complicated history with me. Neither of us said the name immediately, but we both knew it. For a long time, she had played the role of mediator in family disagreements. The person who smoothed things over, who explained misunderstandings, who made sure everyone stayed calm. It turns out that when you control the information, you can also control the misunderstandings. My brother scrolled further through the messages. Everyone else had confirmation, dates, reminders, directions to the venue. My name simply wasn't there, not removed, just never added. The silence that followed felt heavier than the earlier argument. "I thought you didn't care," he said quietly. I leaned back in my chair and looked at the dark window across the room. "I figured something like this might happen eventually," I said. He asked why I never said anything earlier. I told him the truth again, because every individual moment was small, easy to explain away, and because accusing someone in the family of quietly pushing you out never sounds reasonable until you have something concrete. This time he didn't argue. The wedding had already happened. The photos were already taken. The speeches already given. Nothing about that could change now, but something else had shifted. The story he had been told that I chose not to show up was gone. In its place was a much stranger possibility, that someone had carefully arranged things so it looked that way. Before we ended the call, my brother said he needed to talk to a few people. He didn't sound angry anymore, just thoughtful. For the first time in years, it felt like we were looking at the same situation instead of two different versions of it. The wedding was over. But the silence around it had finally been broken, and once the truth enters a family conversation, even quietly, it tends to stay there.